New revelations from the FBI informant on the Uranium One deal suggest that Russian officials confirmed bribing the Clintons to secure the necessary approvals. One America's Kristian Rouz has that report.
FBI informant William Douglas Campbell confirms Russian nuclear officials gave significant sums of money to the Clintons to secure approvals for the controversial Obama-era Uranium One deal. This according to renowned political commentator Dick Morris, who is citing Campbell as saying Russian envoys bragged about buying the Clinton influence to acquire 20% of the U.S. uranium supply.
He has now testified before 3 congressional committees that the Russian uranium energy people were bragging about how they were certain that they would get Hillary's vote on the CIFUS, the Committee on Foreign Investments in the United States, which he cast as Secretary of State, to approve their deal.
The $1.3 billion deal was concluded in early 2013, with Russian state-owned nuclear enterprise Rosatom adding U.S. company Uranium One to its assets. This came amid concerns the acquisition might have violated U.S. foreign investment law administered by the Treasury's Committee on Foreign Investment, or CFIUS, and could jeopardize U.S. national security. Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State under the Obama administration at the time and could have allegedly used her influence or authority to secure CFIUS approvals for the deal.
He made clear that the Russians gave $6 million to a foundation in the United States, or to a company in the United States, which in turn donated almost all of that to the Clinton Foundation and the Clinton Global Initiative.
Rosatom is one of the world's largest producers of nuclear fuel, with operations in Australia, South Africa and Canada, where it does not face major regulatory hurdles. However, in the case with Uranium One, U.S. officials expressed concern about a major nuclear power investing in its strategic supplies of nuclear fuel. But why did the Russians seek to acquire Uranium One so aggressively? Rosatom's initial motivation dates back to the mid-2000s, when Bill Clinton traveled to the former Soviet Republic of Kazakhstan and struck a deal to acquire local uranium miner Eurasia Energy, as well as mining rights in the country for Uranium One.
Bill Clinton, former president, and his multi-gazillionaire friend Frank Giuffra traveled to Kazakhstan and bestowed all kinds of praises on the dictator there, and ended up, oh my surprise, with uranium mining rights. And it was then, my client is told, that the Russians began to plan strategically how they could take over uranium, particularly in the United States.
This came to the dismay of Rosatom, which had its own mining interests in the former Soviet Republic. Subsequently, the Russians decided to play big and acquire Uranium One altogether to restore control over Kazakhstan mining. At the same time, Russian officials saw U.S. uranium as a nice bonus, as they were acutely aware they couldn't move nuclear fuel outside the U.S. FBI informant Campbell detailed generous donations from the Russians to the Clintons aimed at securing the deal, payments allegedly referred to by the Russians as extortion.
Investors in the Uranium One company, which was Russia's front to take over the uranium, gave a combined total of $145 million to the Clinton Global Initiative and the Clinton Foundation.
Last October, House Intelligence Committee launched a probe into the deal as possibly violating the CFIUS regulations and involving alleged corruption schemes with connection to the Clintons.
The Russians knew that they had bribed the Clintons, and they said that affirmatively in their dealings with Campbell. They would joke about it, they would chortle over it.
As the investigation continues, Campbell is set to disclose additional details on the process leading up to the Russian takeover of the 1/5 of the U.S. nuclear fuel supply. Kristian, Rouz, One American News.
We can use your help. Call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call today.